Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Yara Show. As you can see, tonight is my guest, Deb of Pinching Pesos. And there is no Sean or Chad tonight to help with the comments, so we will try doing our best to catch any questions you guys have. And we are going to be talking about parting out items for resale.
Woo!
So, for the people that don't know who you are, Deb, why don't you let them know a little bit about yourself and where they can find you and everything?
Okay, well, I'm Deborah. I've been selling on eBay for about 7.5 years. I didn't start doing it as a business until November of 2011, and then I didn't go full time, which isn't really full time because I don't put in full time hours, but until last summer. So it's been a year, I guess, since I've had since I was somebody's actual employee. So I will get no W-2s this year. So, but yeah, I'm in a couple groups. I'm in eBay Mommy. You can see me on the Reseller Wake Up Show with Paul on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when I show up and I'm not sleeping. And that's it.
And you were an admin in the Reseller Society. You have your
I
own group.
Yeah, I have my own group. I have the $1,500 room. It's for intermediate sellers, so it's kind of just more of like a family of people together. It's gotten kind of large, but it's still like the core group of participants are always the same people. Um, but yeah, there's not any drama or everybody's really positive. It's not kind of keep a tight ship in there. I don't like a lot of drama. So
And before we went live, you were talking about going out with the boys with Austin.
yeah, this week was the green room hangout. They do it every year. And if you don't know, the green room is a paid group, but it's actually gonna Facebook group. But soon it's turning into a subscription based forum type website thing. I believe is what they're doing. Um, but they have their annual meetup, and it was this week. So starting Wednesday, I was hanging out with all the different resellers that came into town, and I met some really cool folks, and it was a lot of fun. It's fun to meet people face to face because normally they're just text and Facebook, So it was a lot of fun. We had a blast.
Okay. And well, I'm gonna do a quick shout out of who's in the group out in the comments. We got Berta Bell. We have Coco Chanel, Mothership. We got Picker Janet, Bill Noss. You see anybody? You can shout them out too. That
Oh, let's see. There's Phoenix Picker, Janet, and Coco Chanel, and Angie, and Margaret, and I saw Dwayne in there. Let's see.
I know earlier Michael Bomberger made a
Yeah,
comment.
Bomberger was first, and then I guess he fell asleep.
And
Ballet Picker, Steven Scroggins.
Tim Skinner.
See. I think that's Turtle Trader. I think that's everybody. Hi, everybody.
Okay, well, you already answered one of my questions about when you started and everything.
I can tell you a story if you wanted to know where Pinching Pesos came from.
Well, you tell that before I go into my questions.
It's Pinching Pesos came from when I was a stay-at-home mom. I didn't have a lot of money, and so basically I started selling coupons on eBay. I had found some Insure coupons at the doctor's office because I had to go to an oncologist, which is a cancer doctor, to monitor like my blood when I was pregnant, and they had $4 off Insure coupons, which is really high value. And so I started selling those on eBay. So if you go back and look at my feedback, it's coupons were like my original feedback. And so that's where Pinching Pesos came from, because I was selling coupons. And then it just kind of stuck. And then it was, that's my business name. But yeah.
Definitely a different name, so it sticks out. Okay, but do you have help or do you do it all by yourself?
I do it all by myself. I'm trying to train my daughter. She used to be really good. When I used to do my 8-year-old, when I used to do coffee cups and stuffed animals, she was really good at taking pictures, so she could take the pictures of those items, because they're kind of simple. You just kind of turn them and whatever.
Yep.
So she would take photos for me sometimes. But since I don't do those kind of things anymore, then, she can't take pictures. But I just talked to her the other day about training her how to crop the pictures, like in Picasa. It's so simple. So
Yeah.
I'm going to teach her how to do it, and I told her I'd pay her to do that for me, because I hate that part. It's like so tedious, but it's a really simple thing. It just takes forever. So yeah, I'm going to train my 8-year-old how to crop photos.
Okay, and what are your hobbies that don't have anything to do with reselling?
Do I have a hobby? Is
Yeah, what
that
are
what you
your
said?
hobbies that are not reselling related?
I have no hobbies. I'm an incredibly boring person. I have no hobbies whatsoever. I don't craft. I'm a horrible crafter. I don't like have a book thing that I like to read, certain kinds of books, or I have no hobbies.
Well, I know of one hobby. You go out with your husband when he says it's time to go to dinner.
I do. I go to dinner with my husband. That's why Chris is giving me a hard time, because that's why I couldn't do the show all this time, because normally Sunday nights my husband wants to go to dinner. But here I am.
Yep, I told you we'd work around it, and
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And do you have any? Oh yeah, I just had that. What is your best sale that you've had since you got more serious in buying and reselling?
The best sale I had was a coffee bean roaster. Um, it was I it got purchased for $30 and it sold for $350.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a coffee bean. And I was telling Dwayne this because Dwayne and his wife were at my house last Wednesday, and I was actually talking about that exact thing, and I was telling him they're kind of easy to spot because they're weird. They're like, they don't fit in, like the appliances. So they're kind of a weird looking appliance, and it would catch your eye, to find one. You would definitely notice it.
Okay, I'm getting there's a comment in the view saying Joe is saying that he's having a hard time hearing me. Are you having a hard time hearing me?
Slightly, but then I was worried that if you increased your volume, then the fan or that noise would get louder.
Yeah, that's why I was trying
Uh,
to avoid the microphone from picking it up too.
yeah.
Yeah, like for some reason, people, my laptop, my desktop is the fan is for whatever reason a little louder than normal. So I'm trying to work around that tonight. So if I sound a little soft or whatever, we just listen to Deb. She's the one that we're here to learn from, not me. And what was your worst experience in reselling?
My worst experience?
Yes.
Um, I haven't really had any. Um, Like, I don't have a lot of problem buyers or anything. I don't think I have one. The only time like I had like a really angry customer was when I accidentally shipped coffee cups to the wrong places because I had put the labels on the wrong, like I'd switched labels. And fortunately, like it was international, but fortunately they both went to England. And so whenever you switch labels or you like accidentally send the wrong thing to people, it's always like there's one customer that's like super duper nice, and then the other one is just like a total jerk. Like,
Yep.
and so in this situation, like it got resolved, but one of them was like really nice, and then the one guy, he was getting an Otajiri duck coffee cup, and he acted like it was like the end of the world because his coffee cup was delayed and this and that. And so I had to kind of just remind him that I was a human being and I was just one person and I made a human error, and I'm fixing it. So stop being a jerk. And he calmed himself down after that. I think sometimes people have to be reminded that you're just a person. I'm not a huge corporation. I'm not, a mindless robot. I'm just a person. So he was okay after that. He kind of slowed his roll, but yeah, he was really upset. I think that's the only thing. I don't get a lot of angry folks or bad experiences. The craziest thing that ever happened that had to do with reselling was I was in a thrift store and a semi truck ran into it. Like ran smooth into the building. The driver had a heart attack while he was coming around the curve and just slammed into the building and like into the store. Like it was inside the store. And like the crazy part is that me and my friend were in that section of the store for like an hour. And then she's like, "Oh, I need to go get my phone out of the car." So she went to go get her phone out of the car, and I went to a different section. And then, like right then, like the truck like smashed into the building.
Oh.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Okay, go away.
Okay. Well, we're going to be talking about parting things out, but what other type of items do you sell?
What other type of items do I sell?
Yes.
I sell shoes. I sell like men's dress shoes, and I will sell women's comfort shoes. So any of those ugly shoes, like I have a Pinterest board for my business that says "ugly shoes, happy feet," because most comfort shoes are just really hideous, but they sell for really good money. They're easy sellers. And then I tend to sell like older, like obsolete electronics. I just tend to find those at the store, and they're always worth money, so I pick them up. And I sell other than like kitchen appliances. I mean, pretty much anything besides clothes. I won't do clothes. And it's funny because when I started like my business as being like a business, I thought I was gonna sell clothes. Like I was gonna be like the Steve Rakin of menswear before Steve even existed, like in the reselling community. And I went out to like the stores and I bought like 40 shirts, and I got home and I got them all, like I was ironing. Like I have a scar right here from where I like burnt myself with the iron. And I was like, man, I don't even iron my own clothes. Like this totally sucks. And then I listed a couple and I did sell a couple things, but I was just like, clothes is just not for me. I hate this. It was way too many pictures. Like I had to take like 12 pictures, to try to get across what it was. And it's so hard to describe them, you know, if there's a pattern or something special, like can't really. and the sizing is all different. You have to measure, and it's just really like a long, drawn-out process for me, and I didn't like it at all. So I didn't do clothes anymore.
And you used to sell on Amazon. What, do you sell anywhere else?
I have an Etsy shop. I've only sold one thing on there, but that's pretty good because I've only ever listed 4. So I'm at 25% sell-through rate. Um, like I have one thing listed on there now. If anybody saw my haul video, I had a cat. It was a black cat tea kettle, and I went ahead and put that on Etsy as an experiment because I really thought it was Etsy-esque, you know. So I put it over there, and but it's just not getting a lot of views. Like I checked the views today, and I think it's got like 3 views, you know. I had a Bonanza store for a really long time. Like I had Bonanza forever. I know it was a while, but then they closed my account because I owed them like 82 cents or something, and they wanted me to pay a $25 reinstatement fee, and I'm like, screw you! You've never even made me $25. I'm not going to, you know, pay to reinstate a crappy account, you know. And then I have an Attaway account as well. Attaway is an alternative to eBay. I've never sold a single thing on there, but it's awesome because you can sync it with eBay. You have to manually sync it. But what it does is it keeps all of your listings, every listing that you've ever had on there.
Huh.
And so essentially you can make it like a storage system for your listings because you can search by name the item and it'll come up, you know, from a year and a half ago. So I've used it if I was trying to figure out if something got listed. I've used it to relist things that for some reason on eBay, like they fell off and like disappeared. And so I can go on to Attaway and I don't have to take the pictures again and I don't have to rewrite the descriptions. I just copy and paste it back over to eBay. So if anything, it's like a free listing storage. And then I had an eBid account, but eBid's like garbage. So I don't use it because it's so complicated to list stuff. It's like listing things in Turbo Lister. It makes you just want to find another job if you have to list things that way. Like, and I think that's it. I think that's all the marketplaces. I do use OfferUp on my phone, but I use it for personal items. Like nobody wants my crap, so I just use it for personal items. Like I sold my mattress on OfferUp.
Well, the reason I laughed when you said that Bonanza closed your account for 82 cents, I think I
Yeah,
still owe them money, and they haven't closed mine down in years.
I don't know. They totally deactivated. It was like 90 days past due or something, which I think is ridiculous. Like I'm like, why don't you just take the money? I have, you know, I think you tie your credit card to. I don't really care. I mean, it's not like I was selling anything on there really anyway. I think I was getting like 1 sale a month. And the only sales that I was getting from advertised listings. Like I had a promotion thing, the promotional listing thing. So you paid a percentage if somebody clicked on it and bought.
Yeah.
So it would send it to Google Shopping. It would send it to, you know, all the different ones. And the only sales I was actually getting was from those advertised posts.
Okay, and for these new people that are watching, like catch us, do you feel reselling is easy or hard?
For me, uh, for me, it's easy right now. But you have to think that, like, when I started out, I really did my research. Hang on a second. Sorry, my husband finally came in, and I got to tell him I was doing a show. Um, when I started out, I really did my research. Like, I had found a blog. I had found Suzanne Wells' blog, and I basically read the entire thing. And I was like, okay, I really think I can do this, and there was like a BOLO list that was there. And I printed out the BOLO list, and I sat there on eBay, and I started looking the stuff up, to see if it was really worth, buying or worth looking for. And I would write down, I had dollar signs and I had cent signs, if it was not really selling well or whatever. And on the list was things like Danskos and Starbucks bears and hidden Mickey bears. And, I still have the list. It's from 3.5 years ago. I have the list, like, somewhere. And then I would go to the stores and I would look up everything I put my hands on. Like when I was first starting looking at clothes, I looked up every single brand to see what it sold for, what the going rate was, does it sell? And I would, look at, well, how many are listed, how many sold, how many didn't sell, and to see if it was, really worth getting. And I would spend hours and hours and hours in one store doing hands-on research. So now, yeah, business is easy for me. But I put in a lot of work, like, for it to be easy. I didn't just, like, listen to other people. Back then, like, the Facebook groups, there wasn't as many, and I wasn't even in a group when I first started. I was strictly reading all that I could read, and it out in the stores. I was in the stores looking stuff up.
I haven't seen any questions in the comments. Have you?
I was running my mouth and I haven't looked at the comments.
Well, I think I see the
No, I don't see any questions, so we're good.
If there are questions in, people, we'll try catching them as we can. Well, so, do you have a specific goal you're striving for?
Yes, I do. I have a goal of I would like to double my sales that I had last year. So I would really like to hit 60,000 in sales, which would give me about half of that as profit. So it would give me about a $30,000 income for the year, which to me is a full-time income for a standard person. 30 grand is that's kind of normal. That's what, like $18 an hour or something, or $15 an hour if you were working a full-time job. Kind of standard pay. And so to me, that would give, my household a fairly relaxed, lifestyle. And so that's my goal, is 60,000 in sales. And I'm getting there. I'm getting as far as I can get. I've worked really hard recently to try to get things organized, try to get through my backlog, trying to be able to source more specifically, bringing in less junk and more, like, really focused products. Because, like, I went sourcing when I finally finished my buying freeze, and finished the listing challenge, and I went sourcing on the 1st of July. I kind of went like crazy, because I hadn't been shopping, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna buy everything. And I did well. I bought good items. There were some things that were questionable that I was like, why did I really pick this up? Why did I need to get that particular thing? And so I have gone shopping since then, but it was really small. Like, last Wednesday I went with Dwayne and his wife, Mothership, where he's in the chat. And I think I bought 2 or 3 things. And I had, like, a Harley Davidson construction kit that you could build motorcycles with it. It was almost like a Lego, but it was Harley. Like, you could put it together, an erector set of Harley. And it was half price. It was only going to be like $250, and I opened it up and had all these pieces inside. And I was just like, in another life, I would have totally have bought that. But I looked at that and I was just like, that is way too much trouble. I don't even want to, I don't even have time for that crap, basically, and just like put it back. But I would have normally have bought that. So I'm really trying to be more focused on quality items as opposed to quantity, and it's really sunk in since I did the listing challenge and I worked so hard listing that stuff. It kind of instilled in me this, like, I don't want to waste my time listing things that aren't good, and so when I'm at the store, I look at stuff differently now where I'm like, I don't even want to bother with that. I don't even want to take the time it's going to take to sort this out and count this or whatever and get it listed.
We have our
So.
first question from Joe. He's asking you,
Oh, this is a $400 toilet seat. This toilet seat has a remote. I paid $6 for it, but if you look it up, it's a Coco toilet seat. Go look it up right now, and it is kind of a halo. Yeah, look up the Coco toilet seat.
with that question as I'll switch into our old topic now, and well, parting out, what made you decide to start parting things out for resale?
I had bought, actually at the store that the tractor trailer hit, when I was sourcing stuff, I was there looking at clothes. I had found some Sensio machines. I found a blue one and a black one there. And so I did a quick, looked it up when I was at the store and was like, oh, well, these are totally worth me buying for $5. And I ended up getting them home and I started doing more research and I found a seller who's actually here in Texas. They're Pace Parts. And I got to looking at their store because he was selling the bases of the Sensios for $40 with no parts, like nothing else, just the base. Everything was taken off. And so I got to looking at his store and I was like, that's some good business. He's selling a lot. And so I kind of stored it away, that would be a good business. And I remember even telling my husband, I was like, look at this guy, and I'm scrolling through and, I was like, he sells so many parts, this would be so easy. And that was probably in August of 2013. And then in November of 2013, I decided to change my business model. And so I switched over from doing predominantly stuffed animals and coffee cups, which is what I was doing. And I was only selling about $500 to $800 a month. That was my sales. I switched over to doing parts and kind of changing what I was looking at. And my sales went from $500 to $800. It went up to $2,500 and $3,000. And if I look at my sales report from December and then January and February and March and April, I basically increased my sales from averaging $600 to averaging $2,800 or $2,500. It was a huge increase. And it wasn't an increase in listings. I still only had 150 listings. I've always had a fairly small store, but my sales skyrocketed.
I'm going to post a question here from Berta, and you're also getting a congratulatory thank you from Country Girl.
Oh, that's Doreen.
For giving her a tip on the question.
Oh, good. Yes, the cocoa lattes are recalled machines, and I've talked about them in a couple of videos. If you call the number and you let them know that you have one, they send you a shipping label, and you're supposed to send them the pitcher, because the pitcher has a bushing inside that has lead. So if you send it to them, they'll send you a check for $30.
Huh.
And then you can still sell the other pieces. Like you can sell the lid, the spout, and the base. So.
And the question is.
Oh, I have a funny story about those too. All right, so I had a customer that I had listed once on eBay, and I didn't know like that it was recalled at the time. And so I had just, listed the parts because that's what I do. And I had a customer that was like, "Oh, how many of these do you have?" And I was like, "Oh, I just have one." And they're like, "I would like to buy, as many as you can find for the next year." And so it got me kind of like suspicious, right? So I went to look it up and I'm like, oh, okay, there's a recall on them. And they're probably doing the recall, so they're getting $30 for each one, So I let her know, and I was like, hey, if you're doing these for the recall, I could essentially I could just collect them and put them all in a box, and just send them to you or whatever. And she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. We use them to make fishing lures. We melt them down and make fishing lures out of them. And I'm like, what? You don't make fishing lures out of, maybe it's some special kind of plastic or whatever. But yeah, she melts them down and makes fishing lures. That's what she said. So if you happen to list one or have extras, I have a customer that would like them to make fishing lures out of them.
Well, the question from Berta Bell asks, what do you seem to find a lot of and is always a quick sale?
Um, I'm like scanning through a store in my head. I mean, Black and Deckers are always, Black and Decker Space Maker stuff is always a quick sale for me. I don't say that I find a lot of them. I have found, probably 6, which is not a lot, but they are a quick sale. So if you see them, you buy them. The Space Maker stuff is it's kind of a home run. Things that I find a lot of and sell quickly.
Look and see if there's any other quick questions, which I'm not seeing any.
Fit flops are normally a really quick sale for me. And I do find those quite often. The Fit Flop Comfort sandals generally don't last too long in my store. They'll stay for a couple of weeks. I had one pair that was they just weren't very attractive. They looked more like a men's shoe, and so those sat for a while. But the other ones, and generally sell pretty quickly. Like I had a pair. The ones that I bought on the first, yeah, I went ahead and they got listed last week, and they're sold and shipped already.
Cool. And how lucrative would you say consider parting out to be?
Well, I think I answered that question when I talked about how my sales increased pretty significantly. The thing about parts, there's a couple of things that you have to remember about the business, and that, if you're going to be successful doing it, you need a couple of things. And generally, you're going to need space. Because, some of the stuff can stick around for a while. Parts aren't necessarily a quick business. You're waiting on that person who thinks they're handy, to have something that they really love break, and they go looking for the part. And so you're just kind of waiting for that person, to come around and buy your stuff, and it can take a while. Obviously, some things will sell quicker than others, but also it's it's a patience type of thing. If you're trying to get into it, like if it was a business for somebody new, it's almost like plush, where plush can kind of sit around for a long time. Plush can be a pretty long tail, you know. So if you're new in the business and you're really needing money quickly, um, parts might not be the best idea just because it can be kind of slow. You really have to build up momentum before you can really, kind of see the money start coming in. Um, what else was the question? I touch it.
Well, that's how lucrative would you would consider it. So you can.
Yeah, no, I consider it pretty lucrative. And the thing about it is you're kind of never run out of product. Um, there's so many places that you can find items to part out. I mean, people throw out things. I mean, it could be as simple as a vacuum that somebody put on their curb. Um, Goodwills and thrift stores are always full of appliances. Appliances. They're everywhere. Garage sales. And I mean, it's very common. It's like almost as common as a coffee cup. You know what I mean? Like, you're always going to find one. And you got to think that one machine can pull you 5 to 10 parts. So you're paying one price for 5 to 10 items. And if you can sell each one of them for $10, well, that's $100. I think that's very simple business, and it's so easy to list them because you're just doing sell-similar, you know. You've got your main base of what you're selling, and then you just change 2 words and change the picture and done, and do it again. So listing parts is really simple as well.
Yeah, I had a cookie press that we were parted out. We bought it for I think $4 at a thrift store, but then it didn't have all the parts.
Yeah.
So we ended
Yeah,
up parting out. I still have with a cookie press, cookie cutter parts up on in my store waiting.
yeah, the thing about it is, it's like you buy a machine, and then as soon as you sell one part, you've made your money back. And then everything else that sells, it's just profit. So I think it's simple. It's simple business. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, but it's good money.
Now, how often do you do buy new stuff to part out?
How often do I find new stuff?
Yeah, like you go to a regular, say there's a clearance on Kmart, you buy something there to part out.
I haven't, just because I don't spend a lot of time in retail stores. But I considered it when Lowe's had, for the 4th of July, they had the Ninjas on sale for $39. And I considered buying like 10 of them and parting them out as new parts, because I've found them at the thrift store before, and I've sold all of those pieces. The power head that goes on, all of the pitchers. I've sold the blades. I've sold the lids, and I know I could have at least doubled my investment just selling the brand new parts from those units. So I did consider it, but I never have actually bought something new and parted it out. I do buy things that work, and I part them out, regardless of whether or not they're missing a piece. It gets parted out.
Well, the
That
reason,
was something I'm not sure if I'm going to part out that red Dulce Gusto. I haven't decided if I'm going to part it out. I think I actually might keep it whole and sell it as a whole machine. Oh, I'm going to sell a whole machine.
so that's what the reason I asked that question about the new stuff is because with eBay's new product identifier, they want the numbers
what I've been doing with that
on
is
all
just
parts.
I've been putting the UPC for the entire unit, is what I've been doing for that. But you can always say that it does not apply, because it doesn't apply. Um, that a UPC is not going to apply to a part that wasn't a part that was UPC. But I have been going ahead and just putting the UPC of the entire thing.
Okay, so that's a tip for.
But yeah.
And how specific do you get in your listings when you're doing a part? Like, when you like when you get something old, how much do you go into? Okay, it's just old, or you understand what I'm trying to say?
No. Can you repeat that?
I'm trying to figure out how. How specific do you get in your listings when you're doing a part?
I don't. I put the model of the machine it came off of, and the name of the machine and the general term for the part. That's it. I don't do anything else.
Okay, so
I mean, my part listings are generally like 2 sentences.
you probably use about 250 characters in one sentence or 2 sentences.
Yeah, I mean it's basically replacement, whatever it is, for whatever the unit was, model number, blah blah blah. Tested in working condition.
And how important is condition when you're looking at the parts for reselling?
It used to not be as important as it is to me now. Now I've gotten very picky about the condition as far as like cleanliness, because I don't want to clean them. I used to spend an awful lot of time cleaning things. More time cleaning stuff than I do cleaning my own home and my own things. So I've gotten where I don't buy anything anymore that has a significant need, to be deep cleaned. If it just needs to be wiped down and that's fine. But I used to do like some serious deep cleaning and stuff, and I don't anymore. And I also have gotten to where I won't buy things that are too taped up, because it can be so difficult to sit there and get the tape off, trying not to ruin the item, just getting the sticky residue off of it. So I've gotten much more picky about the condition that it's in.
We got a question here from Turtle Trader. He's asking you, can you list in variants the parts for a specific model?
I gotta move the toilet seat because Joe is heavily distracted.
Okay.
Hey. All right. Moving on. Now, what was the question?
Turtle Trader said, can you list in variants the parts for a specific model?
Variations?
He said variants, so I'm assuming he means variation.
I have a video showing you how to make variation listing for parts. Yes, you can. You need to make sure that you have it as a good till canceled listing. If you don't, you're going to totally screw yourself over after 30 days, because it'll start, like, you'll have to go back in and change the quantities to 0, and then it erases your picture and all of these other things. So make sure you do it good till canceled. That's very important. But yeah, I was doing variation listings for things just because it was actually great for search results. Because when you make a variation, the variation name, so let's just say, like I had that Keurig and I made a variation listing for it. I put in the title, it was Keurig in the model, replacement part. And then the variation names was each part. This is the suction pump, this is the heater, this is this. Well, each one of those variation names count as a genuine keyword, like it was in the title. So it doesn't show up down in the other, like, how sometimes if you don't have it in the title, but it's in the description, then it'll show up under the more search results. That's not in the actual search results. It's farther down in the more, But if the variation name will actually show up in the search results like a regular title keyword, even though it's not in the title. So it helped a lot, I think, with search results, because people might be searching for one thing, but it's going to bring up the listing that has everything in there. It's almost like you're getting extra keywords.
I may have to consider that for this coming fourth quarter for the cookie press.
Yeah, the only issue there is with doing variations that have different weights is that you can't adjust the weight. So you need to price your item as free shipping. And then if you're going to do international, do it as like the global shipping program. And eBay adjusts they'll fix the weight thing. You don't have to worry about it. So, but yeah, just do it as free shipping, and that way you don't have to worry about the weights being so different. Because like when I did the Keurig, I had all of those different pieces. They all weighed different things, and you can't do it. It doesn't let you.
Are you seeing any more questions in the comments?
I haven't looked.
I haven't either. I'm getting engrossed in what you're saying and trying to learn for myself here. And by the way, Joe said he was just telling Sue what.
Yeah, he was telling her about that because she asked what she missed. Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, and how do you determine prices for your parts?
I go in and check, kind of what the going rates are. And I generally price my parts on the upper end of the spectrum of, what the rates are. I price a lot of parts at like $12.95. When people are at the stores and stuff and they're trying to figure out if something's good for parts, the one thing that I'll do is I'll check what the actual whole unit is going for. Are those selling? How many of those are listed? And then I'll check like on the actual parts themselves if there are parts available. I don't ever let it deter me if there aren't any parts available. To me, that's actually a benefit. That there aren't any, or there's only a couple listed, because that means I've got the whole market on it. That was what happened with a Betty Crocker rotisserie that I bought. And I'd never heard of Betty Crocker rotisserie. You always hear Ronco and Baby George, and all those. But I'd never heard of and then the Oyster one. I had never heard of like a Betty Crocker one. And I found one, and there wasn't any listed. And there was no parts at all. And so I was like, well, I'm going to part it out. And so I parted out everything. I took everything off, and parted it all out. And I started getting offers on the parts. And I noticed I was getting offers from like the same person. Essentially what somebody did is they went through and they bought every single part to that machine and like put it back together. Because they wanted the whole unit. So it worked out really great because I paid like $6.99 for it and they bought like $80 worth of parts. Which I never would have priced the machine $80. Like I wouldn't have been like, oh, this is an $80 rotisserie or whatever. And so, yeah, he reassembled what I parted out. So. But yeah, I mean, I think anything is a part opportunity. There's not anything that I haven't, It's just you can just part out anything. Like there's just everything can be parted out.
That was going to be one of my next questions. Was what are good examples of things that can be parted out?
Think about things that you have to make something work. Like think about like juicers. If you don't have the pusher plunger, you can't use your juicer. It's not going to work properly. You can have a $300 food processor, but if the lid is broken, it won't work because it has to have the little locking mechanism, right? It's not going to turn on. You can't use it. Things like chopping blades, they make a machine inoperable if that one part doesn't work, or it's broken, or rusted, or that's what happens with chopping blades a lot. I'm not sure why, but they get yucky. Like they get almost look like they're rusted. So you can think about, you don't have to get to do parts, you don't have to break things down. Like when I, gutted that Keurig, you don't have to go that far. You can do simple things like the pusher plungers, or even like the chopping, the little strainer baskets that come out of juicers. Those two pieces right there, you can sell for a total of like $25 for those two pieces. And even if you sold nothing else and you just took those two pieces, so look at things that they get broken easily, things that get cracked or broken or lost. Really small things. Like on this machine, the Dulce Gusto machine that I bought. This is a lid to the water tank. It's pretty small, it's like not real big. This one piece alone you can sell for like $12. All it is the lid to the water tank, So little stuff like that. You don't have to gut things to make it a business. You can take simple stuff, lids, water tanks, because the whole machine, like a coffee machine, is not going to work without the water tank. You have to have the water tank. Anything like that. Just think about things that get broken, things that are going to drop in the sink and get eaten by the garbage disposal, or they fall into the dishwasher and get burned up by the heater thing. They're melted. That stuff is simple and easy to list, and they're easy to ship. They're not complicated to take off, and you can make a decent amount of money just on, two things that you took off the machine. It's better than buying a pair of pants and selling them for $25.
We got another question from Berta. She's asking, do you do a lot of international sales?
I don't anymore. I used to back before last year, in the spring when they upped the rates for international. My international business fell off quite a bit. I think everybody's kind of did, but I used to get quite a few. I had a lot of business to Australia, and then as soon as the price increase went through, it's like Australia was just like gone off the map. I get a couple international sales a month, and I ship myself. Like I package and ship the items, myself. I don't use global shipping program unless it's heavy, because global shipping is actually cheaper for the customer on heavy items than it is for you to do it yourself priority. So I go ahead and put global shipping on things that are heavy.
Let's see. Maureen just came in and says hi, y'all. And
hey, Maureen!
She said your office was organized.
I know. I organized my outside stuff, my listed inventory, last week. Well, what's today? Sunday? So it was on Thursday. I organized my patio outside that I keep all my listed stuff, because it had gotten so packed from everything that I've been listing, all the new stuff that's been listed. I didn't have any place to put things, and I was losing stuff. Not like lost forever, but it was like where I'd go out there and look for it to ship it, and I couldn't find it the first time I looked for it, and then I'd go out there again and look for it, and I was getting to the point that I was going out like 3 times looking for things because I couldn't find them. So I got it all organized. as far as like I kind of doubled my space, even though it's the same square footage, like just by rearranging. So I was gonna set up a whole inventory system, but I don't have time for that right now.
And also, Sue said that she'll part out her Breville juicer that she got yesterday for $10.
Yeah, the plunger will sell first. Plungers are always the first thing to sell. Because, I mean, like I said, you can't use the machine without it unless you're going to stick a spatula in there or something, and those don't work because they get eaten. Yeah, $5, I bet that the plunger will sell first.
And we got a question, a statement from Ballet Picker. You saw somewhere this weekend that yard sales are too early for you. Couldn't you find the things you are talking about most at yard sales?
You could, but every time I've gone to a yard sale, people overprice their appliances. And I hate garage sales. I don't want to drive around to 40 different places and see if maybe they might have something I want. Like, I don't like driving around to a bunch of different places. So I pretty much know if I go into a Goodwill, I'm going to find something. So I'd rather not waste my time. But every time I have gone to a garage sale, the appliances are way jacked up in price.
Okay, another this isn't necessarily about the topic, but would you advise new prospects, meaning people are interested in being entrepreneurs of their own, to try reselling, or should they stay with a regular job?
It depends on what their motivation is, and it also depends on a lot of different things. I mean, if you're starting with $20, you might have a hard time building up, because you have to roll everything back in for so long. I mean, I think it takes at least 6 months of rolling money to get to a point that you can even really start thinking about something being a business. But I rolled my money back into the business for a really long time because I had a part-time job. I was a merchandiser, and I was a merchandiser for 7 years. But so I was able to roll my money back into the business. If I didn't, I think it would be really difficult to try to start an eBay business if you don't have enough capital to invest in inventory. Because this is the problem that I find that people have is they set goals that they can't reach because they haven't thought it through to completion. People will say, I want $5,000 in sales, right?
Yep.
Not even looking if they even have $5,000 in inventory, listed. You know what I mean? Like, and you have to sit there and kind of break it down. So when I had decided that, I wanted to profit $3,000 a month. Okay, so to profit $3,000 a month, if I have about a 50% profit, return on my investment, then that means I'm going to have to sell $6,000 worth of stuff every month. Well, to sell $6,000 worth of stuff every month at my average sell price item, that means I would have to sell, a certain number of items every month. Like I'd have to sell, let's just say, because I don't have a calculator, 600 things or whatever. I'd have to sell 600 things at $10 a piece to reach $6,000. Well, if my sell-through rate is only 25% or whatever, then that means I would have to have so much value of inventory listed to even get to that point, to even be able to reach that goal. And so then you have to think about, well, how long is it going to take me to list all those things when I even have the capability of having 2,000 things listed? And if I did sell 600 things a month, how in the hell am I going to maintain a 2,000 item store all by myself? And so people don't think it through all the way to the end. They just set a numbers goal. I want to make $5,000 a month. But not really looking at it that unless they have these certain metrics and they could never make it. you know? So that's, I don't remember the original question, but there's the answer.
Margaret saying goodnight. So good night, Margaret.
Bye, Margaret.
And Sue asked a question. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, there's another one from Darlene, but I'll see if I can get Sue's first. Sue asked if one picture was good enough for a park.
If one, what?
One picture is good enough for a park. Say like
One
live.
picture?
Yeah.
It depends on what the part is. Because there are certain things that, I mean, you really just can't take any more pictures. I mean, it's just the one thing, you know. I try to take as many as necessary, but generally it only comes down to about 2 or 3 per, you know. Because some things are just flat, and there's really just, what else are you going to take a picture of? It's just, that's it. But generally 2 or 3. I try to do both sides, and then I try to do another angle.
Okay, and we have a question from Darlene. She's asking, do you set daily listing goals, weekly or monthly?
I don't. I do keep track of how many I list. I have a tally sheet, and I always put the date, and then I'll start it, and I'll go 1 through 10, and then as I list things, I just kind of strike through them. And I like doing that because it keeps me motivated, and it also sometimes I look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't listed anything in like 4 days, like because like if you look at my sheet right now, since I've been busy and I was doing the green room stuff, I didn't list anything. So I can look at it and go, oh man, I haven't listed anything since, the 8th or whatnot. So I try to shoot for 10, at least 5 if I can. But like right now, obviously I haven't listed anything in several days. But then tomorrow I will be listing, and I'm shooting for 10. And so yeah, that I don't really have a set goal, but it's kind of a flexible goal.
Okay, not seeing any more questions yet. Berta's asking if she's the only one without a store. I'm sure you're not the only one, Berta.
Dwayne asked a question. Hang on, I saw it when I scrolled up, but I didn't read what it was.
Oh.
Fix my mic. There's something wrong with my mic.
I think they're making hear my computer going, sometimes it's kicking on again, and like you were complaining about before we started.
Oh yeah.
So it might be. It's probably not Deb's at.
The static. They're talking about the static, and the static is the one I was talking about. That's not my computer. That's coming from Chris. Okay.
I'm Deb, so it doesn't keep flipping back and forth as we're talking.
Yeah. The Dwayne asked when I was starting the new channel topic, the $100 channel topic. So I was gonna start a new series that was basically I was gonna take $100 and start.
They're all saying you're echoing now.
I don't know why, because I don't have an echo. Look.
Oh. Yeah, I wasn't hearing an echo, so everybody, she's coming in. I guess she's gonna try coming back, see if she can fix that.
All right. So basically, I was gonna take $100 and yeah, there is a slight echo, but it's been there. So and roll it. So I was gonna go sourcing at only one store, and it's actually like the crappiest store in town. You can Margaret can attest for that when she sees this, because she was gonna go there, and I was like, oh, don't go there. That's a horrible store. But so I picked out one Goodwill that I don't like because I think it's overpriced. It's kind of hit or miss. It's not. I kind of picked through, and basically see how far I can take $100. So I named the series. It's called Rolling with Benny. because, Benjamin Franklin. So Rolling with Benny is the name of the series, and I'm actually going to wait until like August 1st before I start the series. So.
Okay. Yeah, I know you mentioned it before in a private hangout. I jokingly said to you, you better tell Bonafide not to go into that store then, so at least you have it to yourself.
Hang on a second. They keep talking about the noise. It's not my computer. It's your fuzzy noise thing you've got. Your static. What were you saying about Bonafide?
I said that one time we were in the private hangout and you brought that up about doing that, and I said that you should talk to Bonafide about not going into that store so you can at least get stuff for yourself.
Yeah, no, I think it's more legitimate that way. I mean, that store gets sourced by a lot of resellers, because it's just on the path to other stores. So if you come down one highway, you're going to hit 5 Goodwills, a Savers, and 2 Salvation Armies, just going down. So it's kind of on the route. So it gets hit a lot, that store. But yeah, I was in there with Dwayne on Wednesday, and he's like, "Oh, is this the store you're going to use for the $100 thing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this is it." And he goes, "Man, this is going to be hard because it's just really crappy. Like it's just." But I mean, the point was to try to say, if you have that one crappy store and you've got, only so much money, how far can you go? So that's what I'm doing.
Okay. I have one last question, and then we'll hopefully have some more questions from the viewers for the last 20 minutes. What do you wish you could change either for your business or on eBay that can help everybody?
What do I wish I could change in my business
Either
or
either
for
in your
eBay?
business or on eBay itself.
Um, for my business, I think all the changes that I've been wanting to make, I'm actually in the process of doing. Which was like getting through my backlog and getting more focused on quality products and kind of organizing things. I think if I would have done that from the beginning, I would have made a lot more money. But and I wish I could change. I'm trying is better accounting, being more specific about how much money I'm actually making, because it's hard to set goals if you don't actually know your numbers. Changes to eBay, I not a whole lot. I think that I don't have anything that I'm specifically angry with them about. I'm interested to see what happens with the new CEO and how things change in that part. But I generally stay pretty, I just go with the flow with eBay. I don't fight back on things. If they say they want you to do hassle-free returns, then I do hassle-free returns. If they want you to, offer these certain things, then I offer the certain things. The only thing that I don't do that they recommend you do is I don't do free shipping. And the reason why I don't do free shipping is mainly because with parts you don't need to. If somebody wants the part, they want the part. If you got the part they need, they're gonna buy it. Period. But because I take a lot of best offers, and if I offered free shipping, I wouldn't do as many best offers. I wouldn't accept as many as I accept. But yeah, I don't fight eBay on things, so I'm not really. I don't have anything.
Let's see. Any other last couple minutes? Well, that's 21
Tanya
minutes
said
here.
use GoDaddy. I use GoDaddy. I have GoDaddy, but that's not going to give you your entire profit of what you're actually making in your business, because there's so many variables there that you're not even getting your true current profits for the month because your cost of goods aren't in there.
And
I just started using Easy Auction Tracker though, and that is amazing. I love that. I love that spreadsheet. If you have $50 and you want to know what your numbers are, get the Easy Auction Tracker. Like, because all you have to do is put your cost in for the item, and it gives you, it pulls all the information automatically and fills it in for you from eBay with the fees, postage, and everything. Didn't I change? Joe's asking. Okay, hang on. Dirt and Rust said, should you accept return? I accept returns. I do hassle-free returns and I do seller paid. I absorb the cost of returns. I don't get a lot of returns, so it really doesn't affect me at all.
I know that.
And then,
Yeah. To answer Dirt and Rust, eBay's going to force you to do returns anyway if they really.
no, your cost of goods are not a cost of goods until your item sells. So you're not even got your current cost of goods in there if you're running your credit card. I mean, I have things that I bought 2 years ago. That's not a current cost of goods.
Yeah.
Sorry. Joe said, didn't you change your store from a premium store? No, I upgraded to a premium store a couple months ago. Just so I didn't have to worry about like promos and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm sorry about the static that keeps popping in and out. It's my computer fan. I don't know what's going on with it right now. I don't know if it's because it got too hot today or not. You know, I just turned it on before we started.
Have you just thought about getting headphones, like getting a headset?
Well, I think it wasn't. I don't think it's still effective because it's the fan of the fan inside the computer. It's not outside and the
But
outside
if you
fan.
have a headset with a microphone, it's not going to be.
The camera has a microphone on it.
I know, but that's why it's picking up the fan, because the microphone is on your computer.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. When I tried using the other microphone with the headset, then I can't use the camera. It's like you get double microphone picks up both
You
microphones.
have to turn the microphone. Yeah, you can just turn the microphone off of the camera.
Yeah, the one on the camera, I don't know how to work that way yet.
Yeah, it's just in your sound settings.
This is the first time it's actually ever acted up that I know of. So that's why I'm thinking it might be just got too hot. Like it was 96 before I even started the computer up. So.
Tanya's asking, how many items do I have listed right now? Right now I have 338. I normally had like 150, and I think I topped out at like 225, but over the course of like 7 weeks, I listed 208 new listings I put up when I was doing my listing challenge, so I listed a lot of stuff.
And Pat Henry asked what site you were talking about. I think you were talking about the auction tracker site.
Yeah, Easy Auction Tracker. It's a spreadsheet. But it's easyauctiontracker.com, and you can actually download the demo of it and test out its functionality and see if you like it. And I did that, but I just looked at it to see how extensive the spreadsheet was, and then I'm like, all right, and I bought it, and it's awesome. Like if you like spreadsheets and you want to know like your exact numbers, it's the way to go. Because you don't have to fill it in; it fills in for you.
And Dirt and Rush is asking about returns because he sells a lot of rusty stuff. So.
Because he sells rusty things?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have any rusty things. Are they supposed to be rusty? Like they're old, vintage, like old
Yeah,
stuff?
I'm assuming that's least.
I think it's best to do business to accept returns. I won't buy things from sellers that have a no returns policy. Not because I return a lot of things, but because it makes me think that they're selling something, that they don't like. They don't want that, which seems like like there's something wrong with it.
And Sue was asking if you're going to be on the show tomorrow morning.
I should be. I should be on the show if Paul sends me a link.
And Paul says he even accepts returns on his items. And he
Yeah,
never
you have
returns.
to. If you have a return policy on eBay, basically, if you accept returns, it means that you'll take a return no matter what. So even if you sold something for parts, if somebody says they want to return it, then you take the return. The problem is like if they opened up a case saying like it was an INAD, well, they can't fight you and say, well, this doesn't work. I sold it for parts. But if they wanted to return it, I mean, I take returns. So I just think that if you set your business up to be negative like that, where you're anti-customer, that's the way I see it, is that you're being anti-customer. People build up this, because of fear of returns, and it's basically fear-driven. And the way I see it is the more fearful you get with your business and you start fighting back, and people have gotten, like, anti-customers, you know, um, where they've set it up where it's just not a friendly place. I mean, if you walked into a store, like if you saw something in a window and you walked into a store and the first thing the person said to you wasn't like, hi, welcome to my store. If the first thing they said when you walked in the door was, oh, we don't take returns, you need to pay, like, right now. Like, you need to give me $20 as you walk in because we want to make sure that you're going to pay right away. These people that set up these paragraphs of information, it's all negative stuff. I don't want to buy from them. I wouldn't buy from a place like that locally if it was, they say, if I walked in and they had all of these signs everywhere about, their policies and their this and their that, that doesn't make me want to buy something from them. I didn't shop at Best Buy for a really long time because they had that restocking fee. In my eBay store, I used to have a restocking fee because I was like, oh, well, it'll deter returns. But it was stupid because I didn't get a lot of returns anyway. But that's fear driven. I was doing it because of other people's experiences. And I went into Best Buy and I was looking at a camera and I was going to buy it, and then I'm like, oh, no, because they don't take returns. And I don't want to pay a 15%, restocking fee if I happen to not like this camera. And the guy was like, oh, we don't do that anymore. We do 30-day returns. And I was like, oh, really? And he was like, yeah. So I went ahead and bought the camera. I didn't return the camera just because I could. I bought it, when normally I wouldn't have. And I didn't shop at Best Buy for like 5 years because they had a restocking fee. So the minute I got home from the store with that camera, I went into my store and I took off the restocking fee. Because I was like, I am being anti-customer. I am deterring people from buying things from me. If I sold clothes, I might have a different return policy, but I don't. So.
You see it? I'm looking to see if there's any more questions. This does talking about the returns.
That's true. Paul said, don't focus on one bad experience out of 100. Focus on the 99 good ones. And that's true, and that's something that I've said before, is that people in their business, they'll change their entire business model over one situation. They get one bad customer. They get one person that is a scam artist and tries to rip them off, or one person that writes them a nasty message and doesn't want to return their thing and whatever. And they'll change their entire business structure off of one experience, out of fear. It's fear-driven business, and that's not That's not a good way to run business. It's not my echo and it's not my static. God. I didn't do it, I promise.
Dad was telling me she was hearing the static before we went live, so I could. By then it was already too late to reboot the computer. I wasn't gonna try postponing the show to do it right away.
It's his, it's not mine. It's a reaction from his speakers.
Well, that's funny. With Mike saying it's only coming out when you talk. When I talk, it goes away.
Yeah. It's the way that your speaker and microphone are reverberating.
Let's see if that worked a little bit better. Move it away from the computer.
Michael, I do all kinds of shows, and I can guarantee you tomorrow you won't hear the noise on the morning show. I didn't do it.
Well, I know we got about 9 minutes left, give or take. So, do you have any questions for me? Since we've hung out in private hangouts once in a while, but never really talked to me, got to know me or type of thing.
No, I don't. I don't think so. I don't even know what kind of stuff you sell.
Well, I still have some clothes, and I got other things up as well, like toys, and I got another new box. I got, like I said, the cookie cutter thing from Christmas time. So I do have parts up there, but it's going to be a whole year that I've had them up. Come this
Some
first quarter.
parts last forever. What's your oldest listing? Like, what's your item that you've had the longest?
It's hard to say. Well, I have two suit jackets, tops, whatever, that I've had since last July.
I have a set of plates that I bought at a store that's not even there anymore. Like, it's been closed. Cause I had bought a plate set, and it was like there was square ones, and then there was these triangular ones, and they had like martini glasses with olives, and they were these special plates or whatever. And I've had them. We've lived in this house for 2 years, and I bought them when we lived in the other house at a store that closed. So I've had them for 2.5 years, I think, listed. And I was gonna pull them because I had, at the same time, I had bought some billiard, like they were billiard bowls, and it was like a chip bowl. I sold the chip bowl a long time ago, and I had sold the square plate of the martini glasses like a long time ago. And then I was gonna just go ahead and pull them. You know, I was like, look, these are just not gonna sell, you know. And then that same week, I sold the bowl that I bought at the same time. So I was like, well, maybe somebody will eventually buy them. And yeah, 2.5 years I've had those suckers up.
Okay, I'm going to prove a point to Michael and everybody else that is blaming you. I have you focused right now. I'm going to take it off you. And when you're talking, everybody will see the computer. I flip back and forth. I won't be saying a word. You know, because of the fan kicking in and it's kicking off.
Okay.
So,
So what are you doing? You're muting yourself?
well, no, I was just wasn't going to talk. I was saying I hope the fan would kick in and so everybody could see it.
Oh.
But if I mute myself, then the fan won't pick up. So I was trying to prove a point, but now she's not doing it.
It's okay. I know it's not me, so
I
I
know
will
it's not you.
survive. I will sleep well tonight. I know.
Well,
So do we have any other questions or?
I'm not seeing any. Then again, you probably got what I missed. So, well, while we're looking for extra questions, I want to thank you again for being on. I know it took a while for us to get this together, and like I said earlier, before we started, too bad Sean wasn't here to
I know.
join
Wait,
us.
where's my hat? I gotta put my hat on. In honor of Sean. Let's put my hat here.
And you explained to me that story, so I don't know if you want to go into it for people that might catch this later or don't know.
Oh yeah, okay. So I had, because Sean has this orange hair hat. This hat, I saw it at the thrift store. It says flare hair is what it's called, flare hair, and I was like, oh, it's like Cool Toads, and I didn't even know Sean really at the time. Like, I don't think I'd ever actually like talked to him in a hangout or anything. And I got onto the group and I posted a picture of me wearing the hat, and I was like, oh look, it's the newest member of the group. It's Awesome Frog, because he's Cool Toad. So I was like, I'm Awesome Frog, and then people thought we were married. Because of that. So that was my reseller husband apparently, because I bought a hat like his, so we were married.
Joe says, cool toast Deb.
Yeah.
Joe, I know I will not be doing a private hangout after tonight. I gotta get some eat and whatever. Plus, I gotta get some sleep. So, but with all that said, next week I want to let you all know we are gonna have a guest on that I believe does not have any YouTube channel. So, but he will be talking about marbles. He collects them, he sells them, and he also lives in, I guess, the marble capital of the world. So, if you're interested in marbles, we'll have that on for next week. Nothing planned for the 26th yet. I do have a couple ideas, so I will see what I can get into the uh, fire, as they say. And yeah, definitely thanks again for being on, and glad to have you. I know everybody asking for you.
Thank you for having me.
And with all that said, everybody, we will see you next week.
Bye.